Hellfest. Once again, I like the lead. The movie is full of haunted attractions and it's set around Halloween, so it's perfect for the season. Not sure how I feel about some of the unceremonious kills on the main group, but I do like the ending. It came from the desert. Really far from scary, but I guess creature feature. There's giant ants, dirt bikes in the desert, bad dialogue, nothing amazing, but I doubt there's any better giant ant movies made in the last 6 decades. Nocturne 2020. The acting, characters, sound designs, and filmmaking are all competent, but this is a slow burn without scare, suspense, disgust, or payoff. The Terror of Hallows Eve. Setup is a bit hard to sit through, but the creatures, most are all very good. I love the puppet scenes. The final monster, aside from his initial reveal, looks a bit silly though. Blood, the Last Vampire 2009. This is the live action adaptation, and I don't remember anything from the other iterations. CG blood is a bit overly glossy, and the CG monsters look as odd as you'd expect, but as far as a vampire hunter movie goes, I really like this, especially that leaf ninja fight. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. I remember only really liking the first 4, but so many people have recently been naming this one as their favorite that I decided to give it a rewatch. I can get behind the silliness of the resurrection, especially with the cool Jason zombie, but the James Bond opening credit transition made me audibly laugh. It became quickly apparent that this is meant to be funny, as I laughed many more times. The movie shines later once they're in the camp, but the contrast in tone between those scenes and the humorous ones is a bit much. Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween. The actors for Sarah and Sam are wonderful. The whole town is decorated in extravagant Halloween displays, and the main plotline includes making the decorations and more monsters come to life, so very festive. Also, there's a giant balloon spider. Never realized doll mouth on a human would creep me out so much. I really enjoyed this. The Witches 2020. I absolutely love the head witch's extending arms. Anyways, it's different from the original, but I still enjoyed this movie. Heathers. Not really horror, but there are murders and psychos. It's very pretty. The outfits, the colorful lighting, Winona, quite good. Disturbing behavior. Teenagers are brainwashed into being model citizens who sometimes murder. It was okay. Powell. Started out fine, but I lost interest somewhere in the middle. Monsters are fine, but the whole protagonist group is pretty boring in every sense of the word. Critters Attack. Last year out of nowhere, we got a new Critters movie as well as a miniseries, but even though I was excited, I never watched either. The kids here are so boring. I really like the creature effects. Crits get cut in half, explode, and combine to form the ball, and it made me quite happy. Everything not related to the creatures is bad though. Hubie Halloween. The callbacks to old Sandler movies really got me, but there are other laughs as well. The usual Sandler cast shows up, but also a bunch of non-Sandler era SNL currents and alums. Bullying normally feels weird in movies, and in this movie it's multiple generations picking on this guy who likely has a condition for almost the entire movie. It's exhausting, even if some of the pranks done on him were funny. I didn't watch Uncut Gems, but this is probably my favorite live-action Sandler movie since Click. Vampires vs. the Bronx. If a movie is just as enjoyable with or without its meta context, then I'd say it works, and Vampire vs. the Bronx works for me with or without its message. It's still entertaining, even got some laughs out of me. The Craft Legacy. I don't mind the new girls, not as good as the originals, but fine. And the actors do well. The story's progression, though, is bad. Their magic is all impulse, and whatever they may have learned is all thrown into one montage. Was the antagonist supposed to be a twist? That character was shown in zero positive light the entire movie. Maybe some neutral, but never positive. The fight is bad. One party does one attack to overpower, and then the other party does one attack to overpower. It's worse because the original's fight was very visually appealing. I just always hate it when good filmmaking and acting is wasted on terrible scripts. Halloween Town is still perfect. Blade is still very enjoyable. Phantom of the Megaplex isn't as good as the other two, but still a fun children's movie. And of course, the first 2 Halloween films, some of my favorite horror right there. Thanks for watching.